Deputy Speaker, and I wish to speak on this matter whilst it is sub judice. Julian Assange is currently being held in HMP Belmarsh, a high-security prison, and has been for nearly 3 years now. He's held there on remand, and not for any violations of UK law, but solely because he faces extradition to the USA for his journalistic work with WikiLeaks. He's a political prisoner, and I want to put on record that a cross-party group of parliamentarians have been repeatedly refused even an online video meeting with Julian Assange. He's pursued journalistic work that's exposed atrocities committed in the US-led wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, as well as human rights abuses committed in Guantanamo Bay. Much of the horrific details we now know of those events were exposed by Julian Assange's journalism, and for that we should be grateful. Journalism carried out in our country. He was invited to work here by The Guardian, which along with the New York Times, The Spiegel, Le Monde and El País, some of the biggest news outlets in the world, were the first 5 news organisations to publish articles based on his work. Journalism for which he's received numerous awards, yet now he faces extradition to the US and a prison sentence of up to 175 years in a super maximum security prison. Civil liberties groups and leading newsroom views the USA government's prosecution against Assange with deep alarm. Amnesty International has said prosecuting Julian Assange on these charges could have a chilling effect on the right to freedom of expression. The Secretary-General of Amnesty International labelled it politically motivated and unjustified, and said the case undermines press freedom, the rule of law and prohibition of torture. And Reporters Without Borders, the International Federation of Journalists, Press Freedom Group's Article 19, Index and the European Centre for Press and Media Freedom, as well as National Union of Journalists, issued a joint declaration stating that Julian Assange is being prosecuted for exposing US rendition on lawful killings and the subversion of the judiciary, and the UK government is allowing extradition proceedings to continue. The prosecution of Julian Assange was a political decision taken by the Trump administration that creates a dangerous legal precedent, allowing any journalist in Britain to be prosecuted and extradited. Our government must ensure the UK is a safe place for journalists and publishers to work. Whilst Julian Assange remains in prison facing extradition, it is not. Those are the words of that statement. The Washington Post's executive editor says this is criminalising common practices in journalism that have long served the public interest. It's the case that President Biden previously, when part of Obama's administration, was there when the decision was taken not to prosecute Julian Assange. So the message that I have is that that should be the position. And then, if that doesn't happen, I call on the Home Secretary to use her powers and refuse to sign the extradition warrant.